Now you'll learn different ways to assign a new style to a surface. We will perform surface analysis using a surface style. You'll learn how to copy an existing style and modify it to create a new one, and we'll show you how to add spot height, slope and contour labels to a surface. From the Iowa City 0209 project, Design Models folder, open the 0209 Surface Styles Start drawing. We're now going to explore surface styles and labels. There are multiple ways to access the style property of a surface so that you can change it. The AutoCAD Properties dialog would be one obvious choice, but let's review some other methods. Firstly, you can use the surface properties. Select the surface, right-click and choose Surface Properties. On the Information tab, change the surface style to Contours 2-foot and 10-foot Design and click OK. The surface will update to display the new style. This method is rather slow, so let's look at other alternatives. In Prospector, select the Surfaces collection. In the Item List view at the bottom of the tool space, you will see a list of all of the surfaces in the collection. The Style column can be used to change the style of a surface in the list. Click in this cell and then change the style in the Select Surface Style dialog to Contours 5-foot and 25-foot Design and click OK. This method has the advantage that you can select multiple surfaces in the list and change all of the styles together. Another method is to use Quick Properties. Turn on Quick Properties in the status bar. If Quick Properties is not displayed, then use the Customization button on the lower right corner to turn it on. With Quick Properties turned on, when you select the surface properties are displayed. You can change the style in here. Set it to 1-foot and 5-foot Design. Most surface styles can have analysis applied to them. This is a process whereby data from the surface is conveyed by modifying the assigned style based on the surface data. Select the surface in the drawing and on the Surface Ribbon tab, click on Surface Properties. On the Information tab, change the style to Elevation Banding 2D. This style will display solid color fill in bands across the surface according to the surface elevation. Now go to the Analysis tab. Make sure the analysis type is set to Elevations. We can analyze a surface by contours, directions, elevations, slopes and slope arrows, user-defined contours and watersheds. Set the legend to Elevations. If we add a surface table to the drawing, this will be the style of the table produced. Change Create Ranges By to Range Interval and set the interval to 5 feet. Use the Run Analysis button to generate the ranges. Click OK to review the surface analysis. Select the surface and on the Surface Ribbon tab, Labels and Tables panel, click Add Legend. On the command line, select Elevations for the table type and then Dynamic for the behavior. Pick a point in the drawing to insert the table. The table displays the legend for the surface display. Select the surface again and go back to the Surface Properties. Now set the style to Slope Banding 2D. Go to the Analysis tab. Set the analysis type to Slopes. For ranges, set the number to 8 and run the analysis. Civil 3D has split the range of gradients on the site into 8 bands with a colour for each. Click OK. Each triangle in the surface has been coloured according to its steepest gradient. Now use the Surface Properties to set the style to Contours 1-foot and 5-foot Design. We're going to make some changes to this style to add smooth contours to our surface display. On the tool space, click on the Settings tab. Expand the Surfaces collection and then expand Surface Styles. Select the style Contours 1 foot and 5 foot Design. Right-click and choose Copy. In the Surface Style dialog, go to the Information tab. Rename the style to Contours 1 foot and 5 foot Design with Smoothing. Go to the Contours tab. Expand the Contour Smoothing property. Set Smooth Contours to True. There are two methods that we could use to smooth the contours: add vertices or spline curve. Spline curve will fit a spline through the contour points. Using this option has the risk that crossing contours could be produced. The add vertices method doesn't add curves to the contour, it will instead add additional vertices to the contour to give it a curved appearance. Select Add Vertices as the smoothing type. Use the Contour Smoothing slider and set it at around 8 or 9, and then click OK. Change the style of the surface to your new style and review the result. The contour lines now don't look as angular as they were before, and they have a smoother appearance. Zoom into an area of the drawing that has some linear contours for an embankment similar to what's shown here. Now let's add some labels to the surface. Select the surface and from the Surface Ribbon tab, click on the Add Labels button on the left and select Add Surface Labels. This option will open the Add Labels dialog, which gives us access to all of our label styles. In the Add Labels dialog, set the label type to Spot Elevation. The label style will be EL100 and the marker style will be Basic X. Click Add. Select some points on the surface to place a few labels. If you select one of your new labels and drag it using the grips, you'll see that the label just updates dynamically. Now change the label type to Slope and set the label style to Run over Rise. If your regional slope convention is Rise Run format, then you could use label style Rise over Run. Click Add. Slope labels can either be a single point or 2 points. If you choose a single point label, then the slope direction will be along the steepest grade of the triangle containing your picked point. If you choose a 2-point label, then the slope direction will be along the picked points, and the value of the slope label is determined by the elevations of the surface at the picked points. On the command line, select one point and pick a point on the surface for the label. Now go back to the dialog and click Add again, but this time on the command line, choose 2 point. Pick 2 points in the surface to place a label. Press Escape, then select one of your 2-point slope labels. You will see grips are displayed on the start, middle and end of the label, enabling you to modify its position and length. When you use the grips to adjust the label, the value of the label changes dynamically. You can change the label style after you've placed your labels. Select one of your slope labels, right-click and choose Label Properties. In the Label Properties, change the Surface Slope Label Style to %. You can change multiple label styles at the same time using this option. Now set the label type to Contour Multiple. You now have 3 label styles to set, one for major contours, one for minor contours, and one for user contours. User contours can be added to a surface style at any specific elevation of your choosing. Set the minor contour label style to None. Click Add and then in the drawing pick a series of points across your contours as if you're drawing a line. Make sure you cross some major contours. Press Enter to end the command. Now pick the line and move it using the grips. The contour labels will update. Use the AutoCAD Copy command to copy your contour label. place a couple of copies in new locations in the drawing. The labels are still linked to the surface and will update automatically. Of course, for drawing production purposes, we wouldn't want to plot the contour label line. Select the contour label, right-click, and choose Contour Label Line Properties. In the Surface Contour Label Group Properties, set Display Contour Label Line to False. Note that you can turn all of the other options on or off and change the three types of label style. The label line is no longer visible. However, if you pick one of the contour labels, the line and grips will be shown, and you'll still be able to adjust the label line. You've now seen some options for applying styles to your surface and for adding labeling to it. You can use what you've now learned here to apply styles and annotation to your own surfaces. Choosing appropriate surface styles and labeling is important for conveying surface information on your design plans.